What is going on, guys? Wrestling Gage here. Thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, I will be talking about how I would rank all the 2017 WWE pay-per-views from the worst to the very best. Let's start this video. So as we are at the end of the year, all the pay-per-views of 2017 are done, with the last pay-per-view of the year, Clash of Champions, done a few weeks ago. And we are just a few days from the new year. Sorry, I was going to try to make this video a lot earlier, but hopefully this is out before the end of the year. And this is, like I said, my ranking of the 2017 pay-per-views. So we had a lot of pay-per-views this year. We had around 16 pay-per-views this year for WWE, and that's a lot. That's too many pay-per-views. I hope in the new year they shorten it down a little bit. At least 10 would be better, because 6 pay-per-views, that's 16 pay-per-views. That is pretty that's a lot, especially with how their story lacking, storytelling goes, and we already know that. Yeah, so I hope they shorten that down. Hopefully that makes things easier for them, instead of building like every 2 weeks for a new pay-per-view. We just got done with the last one. So without further ado, let's get into this video. At my number 16th, at the worst pay-per-view of 2017 is Fastlane. Why? It was just doesn't need to be there. It's the road to WrestleMania. You had the Elimination Chamber first, and that's a great way to go into WrestleMania. But you don't need Fastlane, and with the Goldberg and Kevin Owens match, which is kind of bad, and Fastlane is at the bottom of my list. After that, Battleground 2017. You guys saw my review on this one. Just did not enjoy it. I don't think we needed this pay-per-view. They should just took all their build into SummerSlam. And this was really bad, with the Great Khali returning with Jinder Mahal, and you guys know my reviews, so go check that out if you haven't already. TLC, this pay-per-view was crazy. Like I said, they didn't need this pay-per-view at all. They should have just had this time to build up for Survivor Series to make it a big deal. This one, you had Kurt Angle return, which is kind of cool to see him, and he had AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, but I don't know, guys. After that, we had Backlash. This pay-per-view was when Jinder Mahal won his first title. I'm not saying this is horrible because he won the title. Just overall, I didn't really like the pay-per-view. Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura's debut in this one, but I just didn't like Backlash at all. I don't think it wasn't that like super important pay-per-view. They could just use this to build to Money in the Bank if they wanted to, and yeah. After that, we had Extreme Rules. So Extreme Rules, we had a fatal 5-way match between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and Samoa Joe. Winner takes on Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Now, this was a great idea for this Extreme Rules. Now, the only and this match was actually not bad. The only thing I didn't like about the Extreme Rules matches is because the Extreme Rule matches, like, where are the big matches? Where are the these extreme matches? These weapons that they're supposed to be using, and we had like 0, not that many. And then in your main event, your fatal 5-way match, all you had was a steel chair and some stairs. Like, seriously, come on. Payback was the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania 33. Payback was the build-up to it was bad. Payback overall pay-per-view was decent. You had Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman finding out, continuing that storyline and that rivalry. But Payback to me wasn't like that really entertaining, but it was, it's where it's at. After that, we have Clash of Champions. This last pay-per-view that we just saw, Clash of Champions. We had 2 referee match with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton and Nakamura. We had Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles winning. This pay-per-view was not like, this pay-per-view was alright. But it wasn't my favorite pay-per-view, and it was like decent, but there's a lot more better pay-per-views than that. After that, we have Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is one of my favorite pay-per-views to watch all year round. This year, it wasn't the case. I mean, you had a good ladder match. It's just what I didn't like, what they did with it, with Baron Corbin not cashing in. You guys know my review on that, and that's on the channel as well. If you want to check that out, when he cashed in and he couldn't do it. Money in the Bank this year also was just like you had Randy Orton and Mahal. Randy Orton winning with Mahal winning and defeating Randy Orton. I just hope this coming year that Money in the Bank is gonna be better, and it is supposed to be the Big Five. So we're gonna have Raw and SmackDown at Money in the Bank. But that we have No Mercy. No Mercy was the pay-per-view after SummerSlam. We had two big matches. It was supposed to be a great show. We had John Cena and Roman Reigns, and we had Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Both of those matches were just bad. You had Roman Reigns hit one spear for the win, and you had Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar where one F5 takes the win. And I didn't really like that that whole entire show. So that's where No Mercy falls. After that, we have Hell in a Cell, where we had the big Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon matchup with Shane McMahon going through the table off the top of the Hell in a Cell and Sami Zayn's heel turn. This pay-per-view was actually not that bad, but some of the other matches were horrible with the Shinsuke Nakamura and Jinder Mahal, and just, but it was decent pay-per-view. We have Great Balls of Fire. Never thought I would be saying that name again. Great Balls of Fire, we had, this actually wasn't that bad of a pay-per-view. It was a stupid name, but we had Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in an ambulance match, which was awesome. We had Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, which match could have been a little bit better, but it was also like a dream match to see Samoa Joe and Lesnar get into the same ring and fight. That's where Great Balls of Fire hits on my list. We finally move into the big four pay-per-views. First of all, we have SummerSlam. SummerSlam this year, I have a mixed opinion on it. Half of the show was horrible, and half of the show was awesome. You had a Fatal 4-Way match between Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe for the Universal Championship, and you also had Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose take on Cesaro and Sheamus for the tag team championships. You had John Cena versus Baron Corbin. You just had everybody on the show, and that's where it falls on my list. After that, we have Survivor Series Raw and SmackDown. This pay-per-view was actually not bad. You had Raw and SmackDown competing, and they actually made a lot of adjustments to this lineup, this match card before the show started, with Triple H returning, John Cena returning, Kurt Angle wrestling. It's just that the main event was kind of weird because Raw just destroyed SmackDown at the very end with Triple H and Braun Strowman. But that's where Survivor Series falls, and with the great match of AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar. After that, we have WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania 33. The build-up to this WrestleMania 33 was not the best build they could have done, but it did have some good matches with AJ Styles and Shane McMahon, which was pretty entertaining. And you had also with the Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Now, don't get mad at me because I know a lot of people don't like that match, but that Goldberg and Brock Lesnar match was actually not bad. It was kind of entertaining to see Lesnar and Goldberg fighting for the last time. They're at WrestleMania 33, but it did have that horrible main event with Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. After that, my top two pay-per-views, we have the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble was actually this is probably one of the best Rumbles I've seen in a long time, until up to the point of number 30, with Roman Reigns returning, eliminating The Undertaker, and getting all the fans mad. But this pay-per-view had great matches with John Cena and AJ Styles, which was a great match. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, which was a great match. And the Royal Rumble match itself was great until Roman Reigns entered, but with Randy Orton winning the Royal Rumble match. And for the best pay-per-view of 2017, you guys have guessed it, it is the Elimination Chamber. This Elimination Chamber match was great. I really enjoyed this whole pay-per-view itself. I'm really glad that they brought the pay-per-view back for this year, and they're going to be bringing it back for 2018, which is going to be a Raw pay-per-view. This was a SmackDown pay-per-view with John Cena, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, and The Miz in an Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. John Cena champion. This is great because Bray Wyatt won his first WWE Championship heading up to WrestleMania, and I think overall the matches were great, and I thought this was a great pay-per-view for SmackDown Live, and it was one of the best of 2017. So, guys, that is my ranking of the 2017 pay-per-views of the WWE. Hopefully, 2018, like I said, will not have too many pay-per-views, like 16. Around maybe like 10 will be good, and hopefully they'll get better. And yeah, so that is my pay-per-view rankings. Hope you guys enjoyed. I want to hear what you guys think. Do you like my idea? I mean, you could move some around. This would be kind of tough for me because of, like, the final four were, really close, and it was kind of hard. But maybe like you guys like Extreme Rules, and you put that at number 1, and you're like, Elimination Chamber at number 16. I don't know. But guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.